Alright, welcome back to FastGadgets. So I wanted to talk to you about the recent laptop that Microsoft has released, the Windows 10s Surface laptop. And I'm going to give you my take on it, and you tell me what you think. So let's have a look at this beautiful laptop. This is the promotional video that Microsoft released, and it's interesting. They're trying to show that it's a precision-made, beautiful instrument, carefully designed, and colorful, artistic. Has a Core i7 processor in it if you want to get it. 8 gigabytes of RAM, possibly 16 gigabytes. I haven't looked close enough yet, but we're going to look in just a minute. What does this video remind you of when you watch it? Does this not remind you of the Apple Mac video for the new MacBook? It really does to me. Now here's something that gets me. Cloth. I cannot believe they're actually going to use cloth on the surface of this laptop. I'm not sure what made them to think that. So chamfered beveled edges, aluminum chassis, apparently laser cut. Now the screen I'm sure is going to be excellent. Not sure if it's 4K yet, but it is a touchscreen. And it's a standard laptop, so it doesn't actually tilt all the way back or do the 360 like a Yoga does. You probably can guess my opinion since I'm shooting right now on a MacBook. So they're showing this user actually touching the screen. The logo on the back of this device looks just like it does on a MacBook, on the new MacBooks and the MacBook Pros, the new ones. So what can we get one of these things for? Well, first of all, check this out. This guy is color coordinated. Tell me that isn't beautiful. So we got a couple of different colors here that you can choose. Units start at $9.99, and we have another video here, beautifully designed and crafted. We'll come back to that. Let's configure. I really like the Platinum. Let's go with Platinum. Okay, so we can get a 128 gigabyte SSD, 4 gigs of RAM, Intel HD graphics, 620, reasonable. Color Platinum, $9.99, or we can get a 256 gigabyte SSD, and these are both i5s, 8 gig of RAM for $12.99 versus the $9.99. And then we can go up to the i7 with a 512 gigabyte SSD, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and now we've got the Intel Iris Plus graphics 640 and a total price of $21.99. Now I'm not knocking the laptop itself. Price-wise, this isn't such a bad system for $12.99. I got the Lenovo Yoga 910 for $14.90, and this unit has a 512 gigabyte SSD. It has 16 gigabytes of RAM. It has the 620 graphics, HD graphics in it. And this unit has a 512 gigabyte SSD for looks to be about $200 less than this particular system. This computer, on the other hand, is using the full Windows 10. So here's the rub. This is the thing I'm thinking. So they're saying this is a premium quality, thus the S. And we're going to watch another video in just a minute where they do talk about what that's all about. Premium quality. But it's the perfect balance of portability and performance. But we are harking back to the bad old days of Windows RT. Now, Windows RT, of course, could only run the Microsoft Store applications, but it was an ARM-based system, and apparently the battery life was incredibly good on Windows RT systems. The downside was you couldn't run applications that were non-Windows Store applications. So aside from Microsoft Office, you couldn't install anything else on it. While this system is essentially the same way. Basically, what you have here is a Windows RT-like system. What happened to that video? Did we not see another video? There it is. Is a Windows RT-like system that is more premium quality. It's metal. It's beautiful. Artistic, I guess they're saying. And the system basically is a competitor for what? Well, with Windows 10s, supposedly the idea is it's designed for the education market. Here's my prediction. I'm just going to put it out there right now. This system, and I'm not sure why this video they're showing all the Surface. Okay, I see. They are now actually going to the Surface laptop finally. Okay. Here's the problem I see with the Microsoft Surface laptop. If it had a full Windows 10 on it, it might be attractive to your average user out there, even though the price is slightly higher than what you could pay if you were to go to Dell or go to Lenovo or other companies. But it does look like it's quality equipment. But with Windows 10s, they're trying to say that it's designed for the education market. But your average user who's willing to pay a little bit more for quality hardware is probably going to want the full Windows 10. Now, these systems can be upgraded to the full Windows 10, so unlike Windows RT and the ARM-based processor, they can actually use a full implementation of Windows 10, and you can pay to upgrade them. And presumably, if you own a license of Windows 7 or 8, you could install it on it. Now, I don't know how well it'll work. Hopefully, it would work. I know with newer processors, if they're KB Lake, you're not supposed to be able to get support for Windows 7 and possibly 8 and 8.1, but you should be able to install it on there, so you could have a full-fledged operating system, and of course you could probably put Linux on there as well. So I don't see this as something viable where people are going to go out and buy it who are looking for laptops with standard Windows 10. I think they're going to look for competitive products. Let's look at the education market then. So they're poised to announce this laptop. Well, they've announced it, but they're saying this laptop basically is the solution to Google Chrome and Chrome's takeover of the education market. Can this laptop with a cloth interior and aluminum chassis and some of the more expensive features actually pass muster? I'm going to go with no. My niece goes to middle school right now, and they do use Chrome laptops there. But the Chrome laptops they're using are $200 to $300 basic quality laptops, if you want to call it a laptop, a Chromebook. So these Chromebooks are not bottom of the barrel. There may be one generation or one level higher than the most basic Chromebook, but they are not purchasing the really nice Chromebooks. And if you think about it, there are some really nice, like the Samsung Plus, which is $500. So if schools chose to, they could have purchased or could purchase in the future nicer Chromebook laptops. But why won't they purchase them? Because they know that the students aren't really going to take that good care of them. And even if the students did, things happen. Laptops get dropped, things get broken, and they're probably not going to last more than one drop. So why would you pay $500 to, like the Windows 10s, the Windows Surface system here, the additional $600 to $700 just so the system might get dropped and then be broken? Unless you get some type of special warranty on it. Schools don't do that, though. They do not spend additional money. They spend the least amount of money possible. So I want to look at this video with you from Bloomberg Technology. It's really interesting, and I'm going to turn this up a little bit. Looks like it's already up, so you can hear it.
This is the new Microsoft Surface laptop. We got an exclusive sneak peek of the computer at the company's Redmond, Washington headquarters. This laptop could shake up the market with its $999 price point, mixed with new technologies and a cool new look.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. So they're saying that this particular laptop could shake up the market because of its price point and its cool new look. And we've just debunked essentially both of those. The price point is too high without a full Windows 10 license implementation on the system, and these systems are not designed for education, so they're not going to be used in education. So even though it has Windows 10S, it's not going to be used on education. Now, that interested in me a lot right there. They're kind of positioning it and saying this is better than the MacBook Air, but the MacBook Air comes with a full operating system and it has approximately the same level of performance. So if it is a competitor for the MacBook Air, then why doesn't it have a full implementation of Windows 10?
Durable fabric that you normally find in high-end cars. There's even battery life that beats Apple's MacBook Air by a couple of hours.
We really want you not to worry about having to bring your power cord with you, not worry about battery life at all.
The Surface laptop comes loaded with a new operating system. It's called Windows 10S. The S also comes from the world of cars, a nod to the luxury of the Mercedes S-Class. Windows 10S is optimized.
So this system with the S is a nod to luxury vehicles like Mercedes S. And it has the cloth interior. I'm just wondering, how fast will that get filthy and dirty? I'm thinking of laptop surfaces and how quickly they become really dirty, even when they're made of metal or they have the carbon fiber. I'm not seeing it.
For the new device. Microsoft says it won't slow down the computer over time and it gets you to work quickly.
If you're from a dead, absolute powered down state, you hit the button and that thing will turn on.
That I do believe. If you have an ecosystem that's completely in control by Microsoft, theoretically it should be much leaner, and if you're only able to install approved Windows Store apps, theoretically that should contribute to the overall battery life, so that I would consider a major plus.
I feel it right away.
While Microsoft has Pro tablets on the market with attachable physical keyboards, and the Surface Book with a laptop-like enclosure, the Surface Laptop is Microsoft's first pure laptop. Users have a lot of options to navigate it. You can boss around Cortana, Microsoft's voice assistant.
Okay, here's my thoughts on the end game here. This product is going to flop. It's going to take, I would say, 2 to 3 years. You're looking at a high-end laptop. That's how Microsoft is positioning it, that you have to go out and buy a full implementation of Windows 10 to basically equal other Windows 10 laptops that are for sale for less money that are also premium products. So you can get an aluminum chassis system for a little bit less and get actually more hardware built in and a full implementation of Windows 10. So it's not going to work for the standard consumer. In the education market, no way. Now, Windows 10S installed on third-party hardware, so if another manufacturer like Samsung decides to manufacture, instead of Chromebooks, super inexpensive plastic Chromebooks, they decide to do the plastic Windows 10S systems, yes, those would probably sell in education, but in order to do that, you would have to disrupt the market leader, which is Google with Chromebook, in education, which would be very difficult to do. Not impossible, but difficult. Now, Apple had a hold on education decades ago when I was younger, and Microsoft was able to slowly move into the market. So it is possible with the lower quality $200 to $300 systems with 2 gigabytes of RAM and either a 32 or 64 gigabyte SSD and some very basic Windows features, not even a touch screen, it could take over education, but I don't think it will. So this, in my opinion, is going to be a flop. Yes, there will be the early adopters that are going to buy it, and there will be some people that will buy it for simplicity's sake, but I can't see paying a premium for something when you can get something equivalent for less money that is already beautiful and a premium product and has the full implementation of Windows 10. I don't really see this going anywhere. It's not necessarily a bad thing or a good thing. I think it's good that Microsoft is trying, but I really think they kind of hit the wrong angle here because they're trying to position this for education, and I don't see it happening. Curious about your input and what you think. As always, I want to thank you for watching Fast Gadgets and for supporting the channel and giving me the views. If you enjoyed the video, maybe you'll consider giving a like and drop a comment. If you didn't like it, you know what to do. If you really enjoyed the video, maybe you'll spare $1 a month and buy me a cup of coffee on Patreon. I always would appreciate that. I'm hoping to get about $200 a month on Patreon to match the couple of $100 a month I'm getting from YouTube advertising. Then I can reduce the overall teaching load that I have and focus more of my time on videos for Fast Gadgets. Thank you for watching. See you next time.